take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? I hope so, for your sake. Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'm playing the role of Fandango the Fantastical, bard of all trades and master of setting Bjorg on fire. In real life, I write the Black Knight Chronicles urban fantasy series, the Bubba the Monster Hunter comedic horror series, and the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter dark urban fantasy series. My most recent release is Swamp Music, a new Bubba the Monster Hunter novella inspired by Tiger King.
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassi. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad series, and my books Skyfarer and Dragon Road can be found from Angry Robot Books and anywhere books are sold. Go grab them. And I am the author of such non-existent titles as Wuthering Tights, the story of one man's quest to fit his sweet butt in the perfect pair of knickers.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play Silas Maine, aka the Stallion of the Gods. In real life, I write several things, including the Tome of Bill universe, which includes the Tome of Bill, Bill of the Dead, and False Icons, the newest of which, Wannabe Wizard, will be coming out June 30th and is available for pre-order now. What are you waiting for?
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious ROG. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures, and so far, but not complete, ending with the recent release of Critical Failures 8, Galleons of Seamen. Go get that.
Hi there, my name is Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Fymaster, the monk-like cat. In real life, I write the Doomsayer Journeys with Falstaff Books, and also the totally legend of Brandon Fymaster, the hilarious origin story. Go pick that up.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, the pilot of this shit Zeppelin, the Dungeon Master of Disaster? That's really played out, but I suppose if I was good at it, I wouldn't be a disaster. In other things, I write books such as NPCs, Fred the Vampire Accountant, Villain's Code, book 2 of which will be coming out later this year, and 5 Minute Sherlock, and also I do the Adventure Brodeo with Steve. Let's see. I think that's most of the things we need to plug. So then, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had pissed off a bear, pretty effectively. Pretty darn effectively. So, yeah, and but they had also managed to haul up several dead animal carcasses to the centipede and exchange it for, how many sacks of materials was it?
3.
3 sacks of materials.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. No, 2 for an elephant, 1 for a snake. I believe that's the exchange rate. So it was 5.
5 sacks of materials. And you, I believe, had completed the pilgrimage back to find Klaus and Fandango and what remained of the other elephant.
The completely unusable remains of the other elephant.
The elemental elephant.
There's still some good shit here.
I guess shit is an element if you boil down the chart hard enough.
Eventually everything turns to shit, which is basically the motto of this podcast.
Turns to?
Shit is made of elements. That's just fucking science.
Truly, whoever did this is doomed, for an elephant never forgets. So I'm told.
I mean, you guys killed it. Yeah, you murdered the elephant.
Whoever shit on its carcass, come on, have some respect.
This elephant wants to forget.
We might have taken its life, but we didn't poop on it.
No, we didn't.
Well, let's think of this scientifically here. I mean, we're bringing this we're bringing this all back to a giant fucking centipede. I mean, technically, he might like shit.
I'm not sure if that's science.
You know, I'm not willing to take that risk.
I mean, I'm no scientist.
I'm a guy called the Stallion of the Gods here. That's about as far as my science goes.
If you would like to try and scrape the remaining elephant meat that hasn't been hacked off or smashed into the dirt off,
I'm not doing that.
that would be a survival check.
Yes, Silas, if you would like to try to do that.
With your horse hooves.
No, Silas is safe. I'm the stallion of the gods.
So what'd you guys get for the other beasts?
Materials.
I think you're changing the subject.
I think you're right.
Tell you what, we didn't come back with 5 sacks of shit.
Well, I mean, if you've got 5 sacks, I got plenty of shit.
You are a parrot. That does feel very true.
Yeah. I will dive bomb you, kitty.
All right. All in favor of just going around the shit-covered dead elephant.
I still think there's some usable scraps here. I will ride on them while you bring them back to the centipede.
Oh my God.
What?
All right, we've got 1 vote for salvaging the shit-covered dead elephant.
No.
Ignore the shit.
No.
We deal with enough shit as it is.
Look, I almost died protecting the shit-covered elephant, and even I'm saying, fuck it. Not literally, Klaus.
I didn't say I said I'd ride on it.
We've met you.
That is 1 vote for not taking the shit-covered elephant back to the centipede.
I want to go find our bodies so I can stop being a pig. Pig noises.
Ironically, you let out the as you are complaining about it. It's like,
Technically, Bjorg, with all that stuff on the element, are you now technically a pig in shit?
Can I kill him?
I mean, a boar versus a horse, that is the ultimate question.
Can we place bets on it?
I mean, if it was Silas, sure, but we need the stallion of the gods. Let's go find our bodies.
Yes.
Okay.
My glorious northern body.
That's 3 votes for not dragging the shit-covered elephant, which I would remind you we'd have to drag with our mouths back to the centipede. I think the democracy has triumphed this day. Well done, fellows.
I'm fine with that.
You wouldn't have to carry anything because you're a weasel.
Yeah, my body's dick is as big as I am, so I'm cool with going to look for that.
That doesn't mean you just win every argument. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it does.
I think it kind of does.
I think to him it does.
Yeah, it really kind of does.
Okay, can we get a roll next time for him to choke to death?
My God. It's like some twisted Ouroboros.
I did not say I was going to suck my body's dick.
Again.
Yeah, you didn't say it because your
Again.
mouth was full of dick.
It's an aura bonus.
Oh, God, he's going to turn his weasel body into a fleshlight for his real body.
I might take a lick. Just who gets to do that?
Yoga
Lick
masters?
your cock with a weasel tongue?
I guess anybody who's a pervert and owns a pet shop.
When I'm the weasel, it's a temptation.
So, do we have any idea where our bodies are?
I think mine is in the woods.
Well, we're in the woods, and I don't see you anywhere.
No, I don't see me either, and it's very upsetting.
Might I offer that the woods are a big place and there might be more woods than right here?
You speak of heresy.
Don't try to sound intelligent.
Bullshit.
Shit, that's profound. Well,
Yeah, those the shit.
the centipede did say we could find someone to trade these sacks as materials with in the woods. And also, I believe some of our bodies are here. So,
All right.
So at this point, you guys are basically faced with, you could go back to the centipede and ask for directions on where to trade your stuff in. He has already told you he doesn't know the exact location of your bodies. Or you can always throw out a survival and some percentage checks and see how luck's treating you.
I thought I could just maybe fly around in widening circles until I found something that wasn't a bear or a shit-covered elephant.
I'm good with that.
You know something? Fuck that centipede. I roll a 15 survival.
the bird could fly up high and scan around for us, or the horse could just fucking guess.
Well, I roll a 21 survival.
Yeah, it's like your survival roll is going to be representative of that strategy regardless. So Between the two of you, you actually do a pretty good job. You notice there's activity going to the southeast.
Is it a bunch of buzzards?
Fandango, you see like movement and stuff over in the trees. It's a little too low for you to make out the specifics, but there's definitely something going on over there.
All right, guys, we should go over to the southeast and maybe send the weasel first.
Capital. Let's do that.
No, the weasel couldn't even protect like one dead elephant.
That was a big fucking bear.
Are you sending me first to protect elephants?
I was sending you first to hide in the tall grass and reconnoiter.
That's what I thought.
You know, rogue shit.
You had one job, Weasel, to fight a tremendous bear.
With a suit of armor.
And we will never let you forget about it.
That's good. Yeah, it was all the weasel's fault.
The smallest and weakest of us who cannot fly. You fight the bear.
Amazing. Even combined with the powers of the parrot, we couldn't take it down.
Yeah. Stunning, that. Come on, weasel.
All right, I shall go stealthily in whatever direction I'm supposed to.
I believe southeast is what we had settled on.
I will fly off in that direction.
So, you guys are going to head to the southeast. You did good enough on the survival checks. We don't need to roll those again. You've got the bird, and somehow the Stallion of the Gods knows southeast pretty well with a 15. So, let's do perception checks.
Everybody?
Everybody.
All right.
Unless you're not going with the party, in which case I'm going to need to know some other stuff.
The Stallion of the Gods percepts a natural 20.
Bjorg rolls percepts at a 17.
So does Parrot Dingo.
Klaus Richter rolls an 11.
Oh man, it's a shame he's not a large flightless bird, because then he could have been Fandodo.
I'm pretty sure he is, regardless.
What a missed opportunity.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 13.
All right. So Brandon and Klaus, as the lowest ones, you can hear a racket. Like you hear voices coming, but you don't quite make out what they are. You just kind of hear noises, voices. You're definitely coming up on like a group of people. And so Bjorg and Fandango, you can make out better. In fact, Fandango, with your line of sight and everything, you can catch the small forms of what look like, either dogs or wolves or something along that general size running about. And you can hear the voices and you could make it out. Come on, let's go. Another round. We can do it. And Stallion of the Gods, you can actually see that they are... give me 1 second. I'll load the next map.
Load.
Map.
The...
All right. So you have all been kind of going along, and then you found what looks to be like what you might imagine is a giant centipede track. So Stallion of the Gods, you can see straight through, and you see it's a bunch of wolves, and they are racing around. They're going in laps, and then periodically they are leaping across this gorge. And you, with your natural 20, spot their tiny paws attempting to clap against each other as they are soaring past, leaping from the other direction. So they're clearly just trying to work out the perfect flying high five over this gorge as a collective.
Oh god, do they know about what we did the last time we encountered wolves?
Come on, boys, we can do it! Woo! Go!
Trot on in there.
It's an entire island full of frat boys.
They seem pretty psyched. I don't think they do know what we did to their friends, because they are not sad.
They're leaping and twisting and clapping. A few of them notice you, and they sort of bark and their tails wag. Hey, what's up, new guys? Hey!
They definitely don't recognize us.
I want to immediately join in with this.
Looking at my inventory for some broken liquor bottles and a roll of tape.
Whoa, what?
Immediately to Liam Neeson.
Yeesh.
All right, Brandon Thighmaster, you're going to attempt to join in the high-fivery?
Of course.
An excellent plan. From that, I shall need an athletics check for the jump itself to control it properly. And then we'll say an acrobatics.
Okay. Athletics, a 13. And acrobatics. Oh shit, 7. I'm a fucking puma. Why am I rolling a 7?
Well, let's see. The other guy does... So obviously you have another wolf you're coordinating with to make this happen.
Obviously.
And their athletics is a 10. And their acrobatics is a 15. So they don't get quite enough distance, whereas you muck up the thing. So they fall short, but their form is perfect. You overshoot, and your form is a little off. But hey, it's your first time, you know. A lot of them shout, "Good try, good try! Come on, bud, keep it up, keep it up!"
I'm enjoying the positive reinforcement. Also, I feel like I can hear ska music.
Are any of the wolves not participating in this silliness?
No, I tried to space them out in a very dynamic, moving, flowing pattern, but they are all, it's a collective task. Everybody's just in some phase of running around or getting set or making the jump.
I think if the rest of this podcast is just an early 2000s movie ska montage of Brandon Firemaster bonding with the wolves, most of our listeners will be happy. And those listeners who are not happy do not have souls. So I'm just putting it out there.
I got no argument with that.
Cannot argue with this either.
Because it's an audio medium, it means we can all just stop the podcast and I just play ska music for the next 40 minutes.
Well, I mean, Steve, you are the editor, so if you want to put in some royalty-free ska right now, this would be the moment. So everyone, enjoy your ska montage here. Wow, 45 minutes. You really went for it, Steve. Jesus Christ.
Huh? What? Are we back? Sorry.
Time to take some listener questions.
That's the end of that, folks.
Somebody passed the Rowling statue. Gotta wake up. It's like 3 a.m. Jesus. It sounded like Joe was taking a shot of Ready Whip from the can.
I got my whippets right here.
Well, we wouldn't share the Rowling statue with him, so he had to get there somehow.
It's I tried to do whippets, but did you know that whipped cream just tastes really good?
Instead of getting high, I just put on a bunch of weight.
I just ate a shitload of whipped cream.
Yeah, I tried to do whippets once, but those buckets of Cool Whip just don't have the same effect.
I got my lungs full of whipped cream.
I tried it on everything. Straight, a la mode, on a pot. I ingested that whipped cream in a lot of ways. I put it in my penis. I mean, let's just be...
Ska music. Yeah.
I mean, I put my dick in the Cool Whip, so it's only fair.
God, do we all have our dicks in Cool Whip right now? What a terrifying coincidence.
I'm sorry, were we supposed to not do that?
I finally feel like I found my people. My people who are also not allowed back at the Costco.
So word got out, huh?
Sorry, kids. This is Daddy's special dessert.
Fuck. Wow, how do you think the bowl keeps full?
Listen,
not all Cool
you don't
Whip,
want to
friends.
break through the top layer. You don't want to know what's under.
Oh my God, this got horribly dark. As soon as Rick opened his mouth.
None of this was me.
That's completely fucking off-brand, by the way.
All right, so let's kill and skin these wolves.
Once again, we will never work for Disney.
Let's be a little more mature, guys.
Ooh, it's a real shit show tonight, isn't it?
Oh, someone put this clip to animation on YouTube.
Not the Cool Whip part. Not the Cool Whip part.
I don't think YouTube will air that.
Oh, definitely get us thrown off of YouTube.
I think you're gonna have to
I think
put
that's
that one
technically
on
going to be
Pornhub.
against YouTube's terms of service.
Technically against humanity in general, I think, but
And seriously against Cool Whip.
They just reshoot the Brandon Thighmaster entrance video from last year to look like he's sneaking up on a big tub of Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. It's not just for dessert anymore.
Never
Oh,
really
it's for
was.
dessert. There's some things Daddy only does after dinner.
The perfect topping.
Not your grandma's dessert.
or is it?
And now I sort of want to have a Lord Farnsworth butter biscuit advert for basically jizz whipped cream.
That can be done. Not right now, but
Next
Give us some
time you're in
time.
England, we'll look forward to it. We know the rules. All right, so Brandon is attempting to master the high five. What are the rest of you doing aside from sitting together muttering darkly about Cool Whip?
I'll trot up and see if any of the wolves are willing to stop their chicanery to speak to us.
Hey, what's up? What's up, man? What you need? Hey, yeah. I'm doing one voice, but understand, it's like 5 of them at any given time.
these wolves sound like frat boys. It's all the same voice. It's all right.
They're all named Chad.
Let's do some CrossFit.
I'm gonna hide in some bushes, and if I need to sneak attack one, I'll be hiding.
Okay. Roll
Do
me
I
a...
need to roll a hide check? Yeah, right. Stealth or what?
Yeah, stealth.
Class rolls a 19.
All right, you are well hidden.
Good.
Yeah.
Well done.
I want to fly up and see if I can see anything other than wolves jumping a ditch.
Yeah, so let's see, what was it? You had a 17. So in the scan of the
Yeah.
area, there's clearly forest on either side, and there's a abandoned building, there's a bit of a roof here. It looks like it's kind of mostly torn down, but there is clearly something over in this area.
I want to go see if my body's there.
All right, Fendingo flies, I guess whatever your movement speed is, that much closer.
60 feet.
All right.
So I can get right on top of the fucking place.
All right. Your body is not on the roof.
Alrighty then. Next round, I'll look inside.
So Klaus is hiding. Brandon's doing the jump. Bjorg, what are you up to?
Bjorg will also engage in the jumping.
All right.
He's got some trepidation at first, but the idea of Bjorg rolling acrobatics is hilarious to me.
Come on, bro. You can do it. Come on. Woo!
Big noises!
You also need an athletics.
That is a 18 acrobatics and a 12 athletics.
How does a pig get an 18 acrobatics?
Acrophatic, baby.
So Bjorg puts a little too much overcorrection on trying to make sure his form is perfect, which it is very nice form. You are exactly, you've got your hoof in the right position and everything. You just undershoot it a little bit on the athletics. But as you clap down, you hear the wolves go, yeah, come on, yeah, man, you do a great first try.
Big noises!
And Stallion of the Gods. All right, well, you're trying to make conversation.
Yes, I will speak to them in a language they understand. What up, dog?
What?
Are you Jodie Foster?
Hey, what's up? Huh? What? Huh?
We're looking for one of two things. Either we're looking to sell material or find a body. You know anything about that?
Bodies. Anybody see the bodies? I heard bodies. Someone dragged bodies. Yeah, everybody see bodies? Oh, there's bodies. Anybody seen bodies? I don't know. Bodies? I don't know. What about stuff? Looking to sell stuff. Stuff. I don't know. Stuff. Oh, what about Scritch? Oh, Scritch. Yeah, you should go to Scritch.
Who's Scritch?
Scritch. And one of them does like a pointer dog thing down the path where you see Fendingo's parrot form beginning to descend.
Thank you, Bro Wolf.
Brolf.
Welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, they're very polite bros.
I mean, some of these wolves are females. You're just making a lot of assumptions. It's not their fault I can't do voices.
You dick.
Well, we should probably leave before they start drinking.
Okay, so we'll take it back to the top now. Brandon, are you gonna try for the high five again?
Oh yeah, go on then. One more time.
You know what I need to see.
Less sucking.
Well, John, thanks to your positive reinforcement there, I got a 6, and I'm putting that entirely on you.
I'm fine with that.
Acrobatics, 23.
I really want to know what that looks like.
Cartwheels, not in the air, just cartwheels in the dirt.
He does like 7 front flips, but only travels 3 feet.
Yeah, he does like a gainer. Like, it's full on beautiful twirling shit. And he lands absolutely flawless, like on a tail almost. But he did not get very high at all. But, you know, the wolves run by. Hey, good try. You'll get it next time.
I like these wolves. These are some positive bro wolves.
All right. So that was Brandon Fendingo. You have landed.
Is the roof intact, or are there holes in the roof where I can see through?
The roof is largely intact. You can kind of peck around and try to find an opening. Let's see. Let's call that an investigation.
Okay. Fandingo rolls a 12.
Okay, it takes you pretty much most of the round, but you do finally find a little section that, you know, there's chunks that are missing, but there's other bits that are blocking. You finally find a bit that goes all the way through and gives you a good sight indoors. And what you see is basically an empty little room with like a dirt floor and a mound in the upper left-hand corner.
Hey guys, somebody buried a body in here.
Bjorg will come over and look.
Yeah. Anyone we know?
I don't have thumbs anymore. Fuck if I know.
All right, Bjorg, go ahead and do your movement speed in whatever directions you want. You can do both, actually, because you haven't taken any actions, so you've got double move, if you would like. Brandon is doing the high five for his turn. Klaus and Stallion.
Stallion's going to follow Bjorg.
Bjorg's coming around into the house.
One movement or 2 movements?
And you haven't done anything else, so you can do 2 moves. You just won't have an action.
All right. And I'll pretty much be about the same place as Bjorg.
All right, and Klaus. Where are you? Oh, you've moved across the ditch.
All right, Klaus would like to move across the ditch and hide in the bushes over there. Just I don't trust these wolves. There's something off about them. I'm gonna wait and see if one of them needs to be shot.
All right, roll a stealth.
All right, coming up. Klaus rolls a 25.
Oh, you are exceptionally well hidden, yeah.
That's what I need to be.
All right.
He just shrinks down into his own ballsack.
That brings us back around to the top. So, Brandon, do you want to make another run at that high five?
The guys aren't watching me anymore, so no. I will move down to where everyone else is.
All right, move your double movement, and you can get there.
Just for the record, we weren't watching you to begin with.
I don't believe you.
For that matter, neither do I. All right, Fendingo, you are up on the roof as others are heading inside.
I kind of like that.
Very reasonable.
I'm good with that. I'll hang out here. If they need help, I'll be ready to rush right in.
Dingo's good out here.
Okay, Klaus, do you want to do anything different before we move on to the other guys?
No.
Okie dokie.
No. Fuck you.
I had a hunch that's what the question was going to be. I just wanted to settle that before we got in there.
This is my role. I mean, I'm protecting the group. I'm waiting in case I'm needed. This is my role.
He's not wrong. There's something to be said for not putting the entire party in one fireball radius.
Oh dear.
I feel very seen.
And these fucking wolves are creeping me out.
All right. So Bjorg and Stallion, you both have your full action and movement, and you are in there. So what would you like to do? There is a mound in the upper left-hand corner. Otherwise, the room is bare dirt floor.
Bjorg will start digging.
The minute you begin to paw at it, there is some movement within the dirt and bristling as a head pops out. What's all this now? What? Who? He spits a little dirt out. Oh man, you guys really know how to fuck up a nap, don't you?
I am Bjorn Bjornsson, and my companions and I are looking for our human bodies.
And if you think we can fuck up a nap, you should see what we do to Cool Whip.
You monster. So the badger will kind of fully emerge and rear back on its haunches and look at y'all. Oh, so you're new. You're new. Okay, that explains the starter gear and you're looking for your bodies? You guys wanna go back to whatever you had before?
Yes.
Like a dick? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, the bird thing I get. But like Monroe is super nice guy. He'll put you in one that you like. If you need a dick, totally reasonable. He just takes a guess on the first one.
I want my own body. That's where I was meant to be.
All right, well, just go find it then. That's the 7-day trial.
How do you find it? Where?
I mean, you look around. What? How many days have you guys been at this?
1, maybe not.
Oh, first day, and you're already so sure you don't like the animal life. Boy, you close-minded people, man.
Are you Strix?
Scritch. The term is scritch. And he kind of clacks his little badger claws together.
Okay, Scratch. We have material to sell.
And who would you like to sell it to?
Whoever wants to buy it.
Oh, I believe if you're looking to trade that for gear upgrades, then you'd be looking to talk to me. And what's my name again?
Scritch.
No, him.
Well, sorry, I'm still getting used. I'm still getting used to this. Still getting used to this hoarse throat. I believe I tried to say Scritch and it just kind of came out a little hoarse.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Skunt.
Oh, dear God.
Luckily, Bevan's not there.
Quiet you.
Now that we understand each other, I'm guessing those sacks of materials are for me. You all brought them here to trade?
Yes?
Absolutely.
Excellent. And what would you like to get?
Are there any other traders in the area that we can trade for things that will help us get back into our bodies?
Oh, you don't need gear for your bodies. You just have to find those. The gear is to, help you have fun around the island, survive. Not everything here is like us. I mean, there are still some wild creatures out there.
Yeah, we met some of those. And man, there's this bear.
We have sacks of them.
Okay.
All right. Look, you guys are new. I'll give you the lay of the land. The mechanical upgrades to the gear Monroe makes, that one you can largely get with the stuff you've got on you. So, for example, if you'd like to check your handouts, there is now a one called Animal Gear, which details for you what you can get with the current sacks of stuff you have. For the listeners at home, I'm going to go ahead and read them out while you guys peruse. So you can add a reload function to one ranged weapon, meaning your ranged people will not be limited to one shot per round. They have their actions per round. That'll cost 3 sacks of materials. You can add a shield device to one character, basically a little mini shield that pops out like the bear's armor did. That will be 2 sacks of materials. You can add the studded leather equivalent of snap-out armor, again like the bear had, but a lower tier, for 5 sacks of materials. And you can add 5 feet of reach to a melee weapon for 4 sacks of materials. So, as he finishes, giving away those quick examples, he says, now, if you wanted anything more magical, you'd have to hunt the precious stones and, dig around for them. And, sometimes there's, a few magical trials Monroe sets up for those. He likes to keep everybody entertained. The whole place is basically a resort. You really want to leave? Yeah, all right, fuck it.
Jesus
all right,
Christ. I'm trying to make out the fucking exchange rate here, because we traded, 18 tons of meat for essentially one thing of studded leather armor.
Ah, yes. So a lot of people who can create, customize, intricate, snap-out components for every type of animal body.
And you wonder why I want my body back.
We had clothes that fit.
I had an enchanted greatsword, and I'd like to get back to it.
I think we probably want to put a shield on Pig Bjorg and add a reload function to either Well, fuck him. Klaus isn't here. He's hiding in the bushes. To Stallion of the Gods.
That's true. Yep,
Could deal with
I
that.
agree. There's nothing here that looks even remotely stylish.
I mean, we haven't seen the shield, but
Yeah. I want to see golden hot pants on the Puma.
Unless the shield device is one of those little chain medallion things you put on a cat's butt. I'm not interested.
do you have anything like shiny chainmail for a cat's butt?
You'd probably need some magical components for that. That sounds like you're getting into the enchanted section.
All right.
You're right. It is definitely enchanting.
I mean, it entrances the fuck out of him.
Yeah, but we need him to not be running in circles all the time.
Don't worry about me. Just you get your shield. Horse, you get your reload device. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I can keep myself busy.
Don't worry, we're not.
Yeah, we really weren't worried about you.
I'm not listening to you. I'm looking at my own butthole.
That sounds about right. Entirely appropriate.
All right, so let's trade some stuff.
So,
Straight.
Okay, you guys are good on that one?
yeah.
Okay, wanted to make sure. So once you have decided upon what you're going to exchange, Scritch kind of burrows back into his mound, and you hear some clicks, and a section of ground over here kind of gives way to a small ramp, and he pops back out. Alrighty, so go ahead and roll your sacks of materials down there, and also any device I need to augment. So the shield will be fresh, but if I'm adding a reload function, I am going to need your shooter. And he points at Stallion of the Gods.
Okay, do what I have to do to roll it down.
You kind of like turn around in circles for a minute before Scritch takes pity on you and walks over, and he kind of shows you and shows all of you who are present the tiny little mechanism kind of built into all your gear so that it can be taken off if you desire. And so all of you who watch that now have the capability of removing your own gear.
Excellent.
What are you watching, Klaus?
So he takes Stallion of the Gods crossbow device. Do you guys roll the sacks of material down the ramp?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After the last one has gone, you hear more clicking and it seals up. And Scritch says, "All right, I will be back in about an hour. So, I don't know, don't make a mess." And then he burrows back down into his mound and vanishes. So if anyone would like to take a short rest, now might be an excellent time.
Yeah, short rest.
Wink, wink. To spend some of those hit die, recover, do whatever you need to do, as if you might be facing a battle soon. I don't know. I'm just tossing out hypotheticals.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to stay vigilant and watch these fucking bro wolves.
All right.
Short rest doesn't do shit to help me get spells back, so I'll just...
I think you recover some bard stuff on a short rest, don't you? If not spells, then like something?
I mean, nothing I give a fuck about.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was bardic inspiration or something. I was like, I know short rest does something for bards.
Yeah.
I just can't remember what.
I mean, I give them more hit points back.
I'm spending a hit die.
Go for it, man. Roll it up.
Done.
And I'm going to sing my Song of Rest.
I'm going to just use 7 points of my lay on hands to bring myself up to full.
Lay on hooves.
Sure.
Lay on your mom.
I'm spending enough hit points to get back up to full, which has cost me 6 hit dice.
You all get an extra 1d6.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, in that case, it cost me 5 hit dice.
Guessing I'm out of range for that.
I mean, you can hear my Song of Rest because it's a parrot screeching.
But it only applies if you're taking a short rest.
If you're staying vigilant, then you're not resting.
Yeah.
All right, I'm staying vigilant. Somebody's
Also-
going to be responsible.
Also, I think you got back all your hit points last time, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I'm at 39 out of 50.
Look at these wolves doing nothing and harming no one. I'll show them.
Yeah.
They're fucking douchebags.
Klaus, give me a perception check for your hour of watching.
All
All
right.
right.
They're super lucky we haven't killed them all.
Class rolls a 6.
Stallion of the Gods gets an 18.
I thought you were resting.
No, I just did a lay on hands.
That's right. If you want to go out and watch them, then... all right, so you're going to go out and watch the wolves as you wait?
Pretty much just stand outside the door.
All right, so as you watch... well, you can't really see. You're looking at trees.
Stay vigilant against those trees, man.
Yeah, so I guess from the low roll and the 18 into trees, you all kind of get the sense that maybe there's a bit of a pattern to this. Like they might be, like this might only be one part of something bigger they're working on. But you don't quite get an idea of what the spectacle would be when fully finished with those rolls.
Yeah, they got like a big kegger plan.
Fortunately, I don't particularly care either.
Well, we're resting. Can I make some conversation with Gordon?
Sure. Yeah, light conversation is definitely doable in the resting phase.
Well, yeah, I am an entirely responsible father. I haven't seen Brandegg for a while now, but I assume he's as resilient and independent as his surrogate father. But I was just wondering, how were you getting on with the whole Brandegg Baby Bible translation?
Oh, it's been slow going. You keep needing me for stuff, which pulls me away. But I have been making a little bit of progress here and there. I know it takes a tremendous amount of energy. I think it has to be thermal, but I'm starting to question that. There might be other ways to awaken it outside of that. But of course, I'd have to keep researching and make sure I found a fully safe one. You wouldn't want to test in that sort of environment. I mean, you don't want to throw it into like a lightning storm or anything. You don't want to do that, right?
I don't know. That's pretty much how my parents raised me.
Because I know some people who would pay a lot of money to watch a thing like that.
What's a lot of money?
I mean, as much as we can take them for, right? Right?
I like you, Gordon.
We are not prophetizing Brandegg. If we're going to put him in a lightning storm, it's going to be because it's for his own good, not for profit.
Oh, I don't want to monetize my children. You sound like those people who chase me out of town.
I don't understand it, man.
If you fuck it up, can we eat it?
You are lucky I can barely hear you over there in your tiny bush.
I'm just trying to stay relevant over here.
Shoot a few arrows in his direction to shut him up.
Just some random be quiet arrows in your direction.
You can't shoot anything.
It's not on you.
All right, when I get it back, I'll shoot him.
I like to picture Stallion of the Gods just out there going, pew, 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 pew. Pew.
I'm killing you with my mind, man.
God, we're back to arrows of the gods.
Does anyone have anything else they would like to do during the rest phase?
Bjorg will sulk.
Butthole.
Gotta be late. Gotta be.
Oh, you again? We have to stop meeting like this.
Is it a melee attack to try and shit on Brandon?
As long as my perception was a 6, I'm going to say that's because I was sucking my dick again.
So you remained vigilant until the call of the dick struck you.
Or more likely, you found a flimsy excuse to go off somewhere quiet and suck your own dick.
I'm just saying, I'm playing my role and my roles. I rolled a 6. How do I explain that?
Yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll stay here and keep an eye on these wolves.
Roll me a dexterity save.
Dexterity.
Oh dear. I don't know what that's for.
So you're going to get cramp.
So you're going to get out of the way of the money shot in time.
Class rolls a 22.
Okay, you successfully still stay hidden during your self-suck session.
All right.
You might have been rocking around and like making noise or something, but you stayed pretty composed on your branch.
I know what I'm doing.
Hey,
Or at
look,
least everyone pretended not to see you. Anyway.
yeah. No, they were definitely going to shout out "great job" encouragement if they had caught it. That's why I was checking.
Hey guys, I found a weasel ball here. Let's play volleyball.
I think it's more like ping pong.
That's fair, yeah.
Well, I guess we should have known that Klaus would take the hour to suck himself off. So, anyone else got short rest activities?
You know what? I don't feel that's fair. I was trying to stay vigilant, and I had a bad roll, so I thought I would role play that, and now I'm getting shit for it.
This is what having friends means. No matter what you do, they're gonna bust your balls for it.
I'm busting my own balls.
Remember this, gamers.
There we go. There's the good one.
You're welcome.
That's true. I think they love it when Klaus just wrecks himself sexually. God, just full of perverts.
It is.
Each and every one.
Really niche market here.
Yeah.
You bunch of pervs.
So what are you doing? It's like my wizard is sucking himself off. What the hell is your problem? According to Authors and Dragons, this is role playing.
Well, we're not wrong. I mean, we are, but we're not incorrect.
I almost wonder what the experience of someone who only knows D&D through A&D going and playing their first character of the game is.
I want a recording of that.
What do you mean I'm not supposed to jerk off on the dead body?
What about the living body?
This is not like I learned it at all. Are you sure you guys are playing it right? All right. So... Oh, wait. Klaus, you have an hour. I feel obligated to ask. Completion?
I don't know. I'm here. I don't know what that means.
You have an hour. So since you decided your character starts the job, I guess I was asking if you finish.
Do I need to roll for that? Or
no,
what?
It was just kind of a personal choice thing.
Yeah, all right, yeah, finish.
I might just edge for an hour, man.
I gave myself blue balls.
Klaus has a history of spraying his bodily fluids pretty freely, so I like to keep a mental tab on where you are in various recharge cycles.
I'm not jerking off to the wolves.
No. You're not trying to jerk off on the wolves in this fight.
Not yet, no.
We never know when you're going to find a sacred stone.
I never claimed any such thing. I'm just, I'm bored. I rolled a 6 on perception. That's what this came from.
No, I like it. I think it works. But again, Klaus likes to pee and poop and come on things.
Maybe other people. I'm just trying to role play my character, and I'm getting shit for it.
You're in a judgment-free zone here. Bro.
I don't think that's true.
You're right. It's not true.
All right. So after
this is like all right. All of you. You have the chance to suck your own dick for the first time, and you're in a tree, and things get boring.
For the first time? For the first time this hour.
And you're saying to yourself, I don't have any cool-ups, so I might as well make some of my own.
Is there such thing as an anti-sponsorship? Can a corporation ban you from talking about their product?
No, but
I feel like we might be coming up on that.
They might ban us. They might pay us not to talk about them anymore.
Remember, this podcast now sponsored by Cool Whip to promote Ready Whip. If you need to jizz in something, get a can of Ready Whip.
You know who I love? Joel Olstein.
What?
What?
I'm saying, if we get somebody to pay us to not mention him.
That big tooth motherfucker's got the cash.
There's an hour I'm watching these wolves, it gets boring. But then images of Joel pop into my head.
All right, so after about an hour, Scritch comes back. And so he, let's see. He brings back the Stallion of the Gods shooting mechanism. He throws it over. And then he sets a small new device down in front of Bjorg. All right, same as the originals. You just stomp on them to activate.
Bjorg stomps on the device.
Okay. Just as you guys have seen, your things kind of snap out and rotate around you, fixing into position. Stallion of the Gods, it feels pretty much the same as it did, but there's a few new mechanisms and tweaks. And you now have the ability to reload, so you can take your full round of shots, whatever number of actions is appropriate to your character, etc. Your crossbow function will reload as needed. And Bjorg, yours kind of snaps up, and it turns into this little like crossbody harness with a kind of shifting metal plate that's kind of wiggling around the back. It's not a great amount of protection, but as you kind of move, you see it shifting along with you, and yeah, it'll give about a shield's worth of protection, so you get a +1 to your AC.
Excellent.
I am going to just go ahead and just underline this before we get to the question. These are all sized and spec'd out for your animal bodies specifically. So no, you cannot slap them onto your human bodies once you get them back.
All right.
We'll still probably try.
Well, thank you, Scritch. We shall badger you no more.
Hooray!
Hey, Mr. Scritch,
Yes?
do you have any idea where in the forest we might need to look to find our bodies?
I mean, normally they just sort of take them where they take them, but I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. Everybody here's a little bit lazy. I mean, how hard do you do your job? Same thing. So, if, for example, there's a giant centipede track that you can drag some freshly emptied bodies along rather than trek through the forest, well, there's a pretty good chance that somebody's going to take that opportunity. I might follow this a little further and see where it leads. I have no idea if it's going to pan out to be true, but, you know, if I were searching for my body, like an idiot, that's probably where I'd start.
I'm pretty sure we're searching for our bodies like idiots, so
We do everything like idiots, to be fair.
that's because we're idiots.
All right. Does anyone have any other business with Scritch?
Tell me, Scritch, who were you before you became a badger?
Ooh, bad form. We don't talk about who we were unless we offer it. It's a bit of a thing. Not everyone's always comfortable with their past life or the changeover. I was a merchant. I made a living selling wares, and now I do the same here.
That's pretty good. Brandon spent a whole lot of time observing himself in his old form, and now, gee, he looks at his own butthole all the time.
Yeah, you're right. It's almost as if we all haven't really changed that much.
I haven't thrown a fireball at Bjorg in at least 2 hours.
That's only because he wasn't there while you were throwing fireballs.
If the moral of the story is that I was a pig inside all along, I'm very unhappy.
How about if the moral of the story is you love bacon?
Then I'm eating myself, and that's Klaus's job.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to fly off the roof now and not think about that.
My job is to eat you?
Yourself! No! Damn it! I shouldn't make metaphors!
The barbarian trying to be poetic.
No, I don't even know what you're trying to say. That's gross.
I'm flying down the fucking centipede track.
Can we try to be a little more mature here?
Can you even talk with your own dick in your mouth?
Apparently.
A question for the philosophers.
Roll decks.
Roll dicks. All right. Any other Scritch discussion?
No, I'm just trying to paint a picture of what's going on here on this island. My king.
I painted a picture.
I want to see it. It's not a picture. It's like a Rorschach test, and you know it.
Thank God UV lights haven't been invented yet.
Oh.
I could probably do that with dancing lights.
No.
I can make purple.
Let's follow the track. We
Yeah,
were
let's do
advised to
that.
track.
Let's do that before this gets more horrifying.
Let's do it quickly.
Careful, dancing lights is a cantrip.
You all can head out of there. You are aware that you don't have Klaus with you. Whether or not that's a positive or a negative is your call, but he is not amongst you.
I'll yell back, Klaus, come on. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going to yell and tell him we're
All right.
leaving.
As long as my position has been compromised, I will follow.
All right. So after you yell and Klaus begins to scurry over to y'all's position, you see the wolves kind of look around. Oh, are you leaving? Leaving? Are y'all leaving? Leaving?
As long as my cover's blown, I'm gonna try and do a high five.
All right. Athletics and acrobatics.
Coming up.
If he makes this, Brandon, I'm going to mock you so hard.
Athletics and acrobatics.
You're safe.
Oh shit! All right, athletics 9, acrobatics 21.
9 and 21, actually. It's pretty good.
Yes.
Much like Puma Thigh Master, you have an outstanding twist and twirl and acrobatic array, but just not enough pump in the legs as you fall short of the goal. But you come down and you hear the wolves going, "Hey, great try, great try. You want to try it again? You can try it again. Good try."
No, I don't want to do that.
All right. So as you're scurrying off,
You're not my people.
and they're like, "Are you leaving? Are y'all leaving? Leaving?"
Yeah, we're going to go look for our bodies.
Farewell, bro wolves.
Oh god, I didn't get to shoot any of these assholes.
Should we do the thing? Should we do the thing? Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. We should do the thing.
Do the thing.
Hang on. Don't leave yet. And you see them all run out into the brush, and then they all start running back and forth in a coordinated pattern. And you realize they were doing some sort of wolf version of synchronized swimming. Was the entire plan.
Oh, then I play music to accompany them.
Oh, yeah. They start hitting a beat as they are basically racing about in patterns, interweaving, sticking their tails out, making like a little flower out of wolf bodies spinning around. And then the big finale is them all running off to the edges again and trying to do an arcing bridge of constant high fives. And they hit several, but not all of them.
I was hoping they were all to put their heads in a line so I could shoot them in one shot.
Why do you hate wolves now? Wolves didn't kill your parents.
These wolves are assholes. I just want them to be dead.
Klaus doesn't trust anyone who says goodbye to him with a musical number.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's pretty valid.
That was beautiful, bro wolves. We definitely didn't kill your brethren. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good time. Bye. Come back. Bye.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I just keep playing the Benny Hill theme song on my little musical suit thing.
Goes pretty well. All right. So you all can continue your trek. How about survival checks? Especially from, I'm guessing, Fendingo, who's flying around.
Survival.
Another nat 20 from the stallion.
That's really good, because Fendingo got a nat 7. Actually, got a...
Klaus rolls a 5.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 17.
Bjorg rolls a 10.
All right. With those collective rolls and a nat 20 in the mix, and the fact that you are following a giant trail, you can keep trekking. It takes a while. You're going for a bit. The sun's beginning to fade, and you see a flickering light suddenly appearing off in the forest distance. You can begin to creep toward it, and as you draw close, we reach the end of this game of Authors and Dragons. But don't worry, folks, you know this isn't over. As we're doing the live blog at facebook.com/Authors and Dragons, we're also taking your questions. But before we get to those, we have our patreon.com/Authors and Dragons Discord, folks, who get to cut the line. Why? Because I said Patreon. So, that's kind of how that works. And that should be about enough vamping for Rick to have a question. Ready? Rick.
Here's a topical one. Question I'm sure we're going to have to answer several times over the next 2 months. Our friend, of course it's Doug, says, since A&D-Con is canceled, postponed, let's just be clear about that, do you have any other plans for a special episode at that time?
Why, yes. What a coincidence. It's we have an entire digital con planned for that time.
Yeah, so suck it.
So we don't have details to present yet. We are obviously kind of still switching over, finishing up with the postponement of A&D Con. Thank you, Rick, to 2021. But the DigiCon is one we are working hard on conceptually, and we're gonna start, trucking on the logistics as soon as we can. But it's gonna be a while before we're gonna have many specifics to announce because we'll have to coordinate with other people. We'll have to lock down schedules. We want everything to be firmed up and certain when we announce it. There's nothing, we don't want to be flippant. If we say we're going to do something, we like to do it. So we are going to be working behind the scenes for a bit, but there's probably not necessarily going to be any sudden news influx, I would expect right away.
Just make yourself free that weekend.
I do think it's going to be fun, and I think I'm really excited about it.
Oh, yeah, I think we're going to be able to do some really cool stuff. Like, this
Awesome.
does open up some interesting possibilities for us.
So stay tuned on that one, and make sure you're free that weekend. Our friend Jen...
What weekend is that, Rick?
I believe that is the weekend of August 16th.
August 16th, and I bet they could find a lot of the content on our YouTube page, youtube.com/authors and dragons.
Which they should subscribe to while they're there.
They could do that while they're there. That's true.
They better, or they're going to miss it. Like fucking assholes.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a joke, you assholes.
It was a threat. Oh. All right, that was a good plug opportunity. What's our next one?
Our friend Jen would like us to, she says, please give us an update on the fuzzy creatures in your life.
The fuck does that mean?
I really need to shave, but...
It's a little personal, I thought. But
So, for example, my dog, Dr. Winston, is my pet, and he is still fluffy, loving lockdown in which he gets more time because I go out even less. So lots of love and belly rubs. That's my Dr. Winston update.
I got a call last night at about 1 a.m, woke me up, and I saw it was my oldest son. I answered, there was nobody on the other end. I got up, I went downstairs, see what was going on. He was dead asleep, and one of our cats, Zim, was sitting on his phone. So I got butt dialed by a fucking cat.
That's amazing.
I got nothing to compare to that. Our cat Puck had to have 3 teeth pulled, and now when he yawns, he looks like Billy Idol.
My cat is the same as she's always been. She's let's see here. I'm trying to remember how old she is. She's just about 13 years this summer, and she's this cuddly, loving, complete and total asshole who likes to claw the shit out of my chest while she's napping on it.
I masturbate with my bare hands, and although the puppet, the Ron Weasley Jeremy puppet, these guys are generous enough to give me, has holes, I have not used them for that purpose.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
glad you put that out there.
Yes, I that's one of those questions that keeps me up at night.
It will now.
I love how you came onto this podcast to say, I definitely do not fuck my weasel puppet.
The question was asked, and I answered it.
This press conference is over. I can't follow that. I'm not talking about my cat after you said that. Let's move on.
So you fucked your cat, so you're better than me.
He doesn't fuck his cat. He just uses his cat to jerk off. There's a difference.
Goddamn cat fuckers.
I will just say, in the world of authoring, that's much more acceptable than doing it with a dog.
That is true.
All right, Rick, we got another question from the Discord.
Jesus Christ.
Our friend Paladin Steve asks, of the other A&D authors, whose world would you hypothetically like to take a crack at writing in?
Ooh.
A chance for us to basically just do a little circle jerk here while we're on the subject of cats.
Oh,
I'll start off and say, for the longest time I've been debating, writing some superhero stories, and dive it into a full on world like Drew's would be pretty awesome. Although I know I would be intimidated to write like 100,000 word novel and Drew look and be like, be gone with your short story.
That's the prologue. Where's the rest?
I'd be like, yeah, that's not really an SP. Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those. Oh, God. Oh, it would be kind of fun. I sometimes think if we could find the right angle to do like a Fred Bill, short story crossover or something. So that would be something in Rick's world that I could see being entertaining. But it's also very hard to even conceive of a good crossover short story which tonally matches both of those because they are so dissonant.
I kind of think I'd like to go into John's Bubba series and like make Bubba uncomfortable with my characters.
Yeah, I could see that. I can definitely see Bubba becoming very uncomfortable.
That's a goal.
I think I could probably do something fun in the Quincy Harker universe.
Anytime. I know the guy that owns the rights. Just let me know.
Yeah, we got to be careful saying anything about John because he'll immediately. There's like 2 seconds later. There's a contract in front of us.
I got other stuff I got.
Joe gets any time. I get. I could see that.
I know how quickly Joe writes. I'm safe for a while.
I'm slow.
Joe's in revision hell. He ain't writing anything for the next month.
That's painful but true.
I could have fun doing something in the NPC's world. That'd be kind of fun. Because it's mostly a high fantasy world, but it's not epic, so it's not boring.
Yeah, low stakes fantasy is a lot more fun to me than like Fate of the World.
Yeah.
I guess I mainly write fantasy and comedy horror. I don't think my fantasy characters would last a day in Bevan's world, so that's out.
Well, there's nothing dangerous in my world. It's just the danger is what you bring to it.
They'd be far too polite to survive in your world.
It's like, if you didn't fuck that thing, it wouldn't kill you.
Some very simple rules of survival.
A lesson for us all.
I can't wait for you to do one of those masterclasses I keep seeing advertised on YouTube. It's very fucking simple. If you don't fuck the thing, it won't kill you.
Oh, God.
I'll say build a vampire. There we go.
Okay.
All right, I believe that's everyone. So we want to mosey on over to Facebook. Joe, what do we got going on in the question department there?
All right, let's see here. All right, yeah, our friend Misty says, speaking of the fattest and greasiest reminds me of a truly epic cheeseburger I had once, purchased from a sleazy all-night diner in Charlotte while I was waiting in line to buy concert tickets. Well, what's the best cheeseburger you ever had? I got a good answer for this, actually. There is a place in Tacoma called Frisco Freeze, which is this, it's like a sort of local community, what's the term? Hotspot, I guess. It's like this shitty, rundown dive place where they sell burgers directly out onto the street through a window. But man, their hamburgers are fucking good. I could really go for one right now, actually.
I'd say the best cheeseburger I ever had is I used to do kind of rock festivals when I was younger. And in England, that usually means 3 or 4 days sleeping in a field, really, really fucking drunk. And the burger vans they have there, they're nothing special, they're nothing great, but in the context, when you've got 4 days of exposure to English quote-unquote summer, and you've been living off nothing but carling, then one of those bad boys is ambrosia.
And English cuisine.
English cuisine was some fucking pepperonis and however many tins of beans I could fit in my bag after I filled it with carling. and cigarettes. So
I will say that really nothing beats a good grilled burger. Like I've never met a restaurant that could match that. But I will say my favorite burger is just, and almost every diner does it the same way. Just go in there and order a generic pizza burger, and there is something so satisfying about that. You know, it's a substandard burger, usually with substandard sauce and substandard, like, you know, cheese on it, but it all comes together on that greasy diner griddle and becomes like its own version of Captain Planet in my mouth.
Yeah, for like greasy, standard fare burger, Jack in the Box has always been good to me. There's a place called Hat Creek that's around here that I greatly enjoy. But for best burger all time, the only one that really springs to mind for me is there's this restaurant in New Orleans called Sobu, and they do some molecular gastronomy shit, and it's a great meal no matter what. But one of my favorite things to get there was this foie gras burger and a Beta foie gras milkshake combo thing. And so it was a burger, cheese, like some fixins, and like a little bit of a seared patty of foie gras on it. This was like a special occasion. You're going out to show somebody the town thing.
Oh, back up here. I get a foie gras burger. How do you make a foie gras shake? That sounds kind of weird.
I don't know. They like ground it real fine. It like got mixed into the Abita root beer and like some ice cream in there. And I don't know the science behind it. I just know it was fucking amazing. And yeah, like, oh god, that next time I go to New Orleans, like one of the things I really want to do is go back to Sobu. I loved that place.
Yeah, I don't need Captain Planet to jizz in my mouth. I like
you can do that yourself, Klaus.
Yeah, I like a Burger King Whopper with cheese.
That's still really good on the right day.
I love it.
So I got two answers. My not spectacularly fucked up is Zach's Hamburgers on South Boulevard in Charlotte. It's just this old, shitty plastic chair, red plastic tray burger joint. And the food's fucking fantastic. But the best burger I've ever had, it was 1991. And I was just starting my trip. The acid had just hit when I walked up to the counter at Hardee's. And it was very important that I get that burger. And when I ate that fucking burger, it was a choir of fucking angels. Like literally, I saw them. It would have been a religious experience. And then later on, I figured out how to pass my hand through solid matter.
It's a handy trick.
The year was 1991. Cornelius Cheeseburger had just moved into
was about to create his greatest adventure.
Pennsylvania.
Yep. Yeah. Explaining to the woman behind the counter how important this hamburger was.
Those are the best drug stories. Like everyone expects the phasing through matter and seeing a tequila monster, but you know the shit that's great is the whole like you don't understand. I need this gallon of milk.
Yeah, I'm trying to save the fucking world here, man.
I had a friend who I know this is a side tangent, but I had a friend who we were at a indie metal show in the rural Washington town that I spent my teen years in, which is it's indie cowboy metal. We went to the Circle K, and I hadn't realized that two of the guys I were there with were extremely high until one of them popped. We're getting snacks, and one of the guys just like walked up to the counter with a whole fucking gallon of milk. And just slams that sucker down like it's a 6-pack and goes, "I need milk." Okay.
Somebody needed milk.
Yeah.
Somebody needed milk. Let's see here. Okay, our friend Casey asks, when all of the travel restrictions are lifted and you all feel safe to go somewhere non-local, where is it that you want to go?
I don't want to go anywhere.
Nashville in 2021 for Authors and Dragons Con, baby.
Or that.
There's our generic answer for anybody who doesn't feel like it.
I was actually in my other life, in my martial arts life, until it got canceled, I was slated to go to Toronto this summer to teach, and I was bummed out about it getting canceled because I could have called myself an international instructor. Once that happened, but I had.
You still can.
I've never actually.
I mean, you'd be lying, but that's fine.
Yeah,
you can call yourself whatever you want.
It was, but I had been like hearing from local friends about just the city life in Toronto, and I'd really been looking forward to checking it out, and now I'm bummed. So, yeah, I think I'd actually try to go to Toronto.
I just want to go to a con.
Yeah.
I'll say probably one thing that is almost certainly not going to happen this summer is every summer we usually do a lot of like amusement parks because, you know, my family loves doing rides. So, you know, getting back to a place like Hershey Park or so when this is all over will be kind of nice.
I mean, if you can get a ticket and a reservation, Disney World, just as of this recording, announced a few days ago that they're opening back up at super limited capacity. So, low crowds for once. Yeah,
I might need to sell a few more books to afford that.
I want to see Mickey in a fucking mask.
A few more kidneys.
Yeah, Rick's going to have to move into selling other people's kidneys.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be tough to get those tickets. Yeah, I can't imagine those are going easy, especially because there's so much fewer for sale.
Kidneys?
I thought he was talking about kidneys.
Same difference.
Nah, kidneys are a dime a dozen these days.
Is Hershey Park opening back up, Rick? Like, are yours going to do the limited capacity screening things, or are they not even trying like some of the big ones are?
I haven't bothered to look. My assumption is this summer is just not happening, so why bother even asking?
I saw a news item about Six Flags, which is one of the ones near me down in Dallas, is looking at reopening. And given the level of care that they put into the rest of their park, there's no fucking way I'm trusting them. Oh, man. Disney I would trust. Six Flags, hell no.
Yeah, now a 20% less puke for you to wade through.
Yeah. It's like, half of these very dangerous rides are rusted and sound like they haven't been repaired in a decade. But yeah, I bet you've got great sanitation standards ready to go on a month's notice.
Yeah. Carowinds is still closed and says, yeah, we don't know. We have no idea.
Reasonable. Entirely reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are saying we don't know and maybe, those are the ones I'm going to trust the most.
I've been to Disney World. I like that experience. I love theme parks in general, and those really are at a very high standard in that world and of cleanliness and everything. If I was going to trust a theme park, it would be a Disney one this year. Like if I was willing to take that chance, I just don't see myself doing it. But if I were out there as someone who's been to a lot, if you just absolutely for some reason have to do a theme park this year and waiting is not an option, Disney would probably be my best bet. But I mean, yeah, this is just all so fresh, man. It's a roll. It's a dice roll.
Yeah, Six Flags is going to be like, our way of social distancing is we're gonna like trust you that you strapped yourself into that ride.
I'm just saying the last places of any industry that open up are the ones I'm going to trust the most.
No, that's entirely reasonable. The ones who take their time and make sure to do it right.
Yeah. Friend Scott asks, Bieber has the believers and Bevan has the failures. Do your fans have a nickname? And if not, what should it be?
Yeah, Rick.
I will just say my fans named themselves. I actually wasn't going to give them this name, but yes, people who enjoy my Bill books, they are twat waffles.
I call the members of my Facebook group my Renfields.
I like to go on the Authors and Dragons Discord and call people Discordians who are on there, because that's actually a character in my book. So I like to pretend that they're all fans, specifically of my book when I call them that. They don't know I do that yet, but I do it. And
they know it now.
well, they're probably not listening to this. I mean, they're only our Discord people who actually pay for the privilege of hanging out on our Discord. But yeah, I call them Discordians.
Why would they pay if they don't fucking listen?
That's a good point. I've probably ruined it now. Next time I call them Discordians, they'll say, "Fuck you, we know what you're doing."
Yeah, you fucked it up.
Oh, God, I have no idea. I mean, I know I picked this question, but I have no fucking clue.
If it makes you feel better, I'm right there with you. We've got Junior Adventurers for fans of the podcast, but I never thought to come up with a name for
True Believers.
Oh, hey, that's a great one. True Believers.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Good.
Thanks.
Joe Bros.
Oh, God.
Joe Bros it is.
Yeah, if you're not going to come up with a name yourself, we're going to give you one.
God.
Hey, no complaints.
Oh, okay, let's see here. What's another good one we've got?
Joe Bros.
Joe Bros. Da 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 da.
Oh, dear God. Let's see here.
Or you could go with Chicken Fisters.
Chicken Fisters. Chicken Fist! I'm obligated to do that whenever it's mentioned.
Yeah, Chicken Fisters would be a good name, but you'd have to do a lot of explaining every time you engage with someone new on social media.
Yeah.
Every
what
time
up, Chicken Fisters?
I think
every time you start a convention, it's, oh no, we've double booked with the actual Chicken Fisters again. This is embarrassing.
You know that they're actually, like, the handful of fans I have are actually going to start calling themselves Chicken Fisters now.
No, they're going to be Joe Bros. And they're going to be a bunch of nice guy misogynists.
Oh, dude, why are you doing this to me? Why are you fucking... No, I will throat punch every one of them. Okay, let's see here. So,
Joe Bros.
Stop it. Our friend Mark asks, so I'm going to ask again, have any of you ever written something specifically that you wanted to hear read by your narrator?
Oh, yes, absolutely. This is dirty. I feel bad about this. Not really. But you guys know I do these parody songs sometimes, and I get John Sleep to sing the songs, and Travis Navarre to record to do the technical audio shit, and that takes their time away, but I don't pay them for it. But they do it because they're cool, and they hope it will, open the brand of our audiobooks. But I've started putting songs into my books so that if they decide, yeah, I don't feel like doing this shit. Well, now they have to do this shit because it's in the books.
That's merciless.
I love you, John Sleep and Travis.
And they're climbing the stairway to Bevan.
Oh, that's really good. Anyone else?
No, I love my narrators, but I tend to, write the story for the story, and then what sounds cool afterward is just a bonus.
Yeah, fuck you, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I mean, there's things I write and afterwards I look, I'm like, I can't wait to see, see what Chris does with this, or one of the other series. But yeah, I can't say there's anything I specifically write, that goes in a book. That's like, oh, yeah, this is gonna get me.
I'm the only dick here.
In this particular category, yes.
I mean, that's not even where I end. I've written a couple of tongue twisters just to fuck with them. But
you're the only one of us that's that level of dick. We're all amateurs, apparently.
I don't have enough of a narrator report to say that I do. If I did though, I probably would.
Imagining like John sleeping like another 5 years. He's got one of those computerized voice boxes. He's like, "Goddamn Bevan and his tongue twisters."
Bevan, why are you doing this to me?
I don't think he smokes cigars.
Well, they might start if you keep stressing him out, man.
You and the fucking chicken fisters. Why are you doing this?
All right, Joe, I think we've got time for one more.
All right. I feel like I have to caveat this by saying that Steve's not allowed to talk about Ghostbusters. Just because
I
we
already
need something
like it.
new.
I got it back,
Just to get
Steve.
something new. Our friend Andrew asks, what are some A-list movies that are just absolute shit in your opinion? Have a ball.
I'm just going to pull up 2019 movies because honestly, most of my answers are going to have immediately fallen out of my head.
Yeah.
Like after I saw them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people know that I don't like, there's plenty of DC movies I could take a shit on, but you know something? I'm gonna go a little higher up on the food chain and just say, yes, I thought Avatar sucked balls.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to I'm going to say that I didn't like Avatar for a couple of reasons. One, it was just so saccharine and the fans were so annoying. Plus, it's a fucking, for all the people who are like, oh, it's such a progressive story. I'm like, no, it's a fucking Great White Hunter movie.
You know what bothered me? The sheer laziness of unobtainium.
Yeah, that
feels like something a fucking intern put into the script, and they said change this later, and they were just like, nah, that's fine, let's just go with it.
Like, I feel like isn't that what Joss Whedon used to call his MacGuffins? Like at some point,
it's an industry term for like MacGuffins, and they were like, ooh, we're so clever by using this word literally.
You weren't.
Yeah, you very much were not.
Also, it's really hard to... I mean, like, okay, so Stephen Lang is obviously playing a sociopathic monster in that movie, but he's just so compelling to watch, and he's so much more compelling to watch than anyone else in that film.
I don't really waste my time. It's Stephen Lang, the guy who shouts a lot.
Stephen Lang is... he's the like, evil Marine colonel in Avatar.
Oh, right. I thought you meant the good guy. He was in movies for about 2 years, and he just shouted a lot. But, because I watched Man on a Ledge and he was in that, and that was a bad film. The most disappointing film I saw was I went to see Downsize with Matt Damon, and the concept is really good. It's about if they found a way to shrink people to like 6 inches high, like economically, they'd be doing really well. So there'd be an attraction for him to do it. So all these kind of upper class people would be shrinking themselves and it'd create a 2-tier society. And I thought, wow, what an interesting concept. And they spent about 10 minutes on that concept and then just shit the bed for the entire movie. It was like, oh, you got tiny people. Think of all the wacky adventures you could have. Right, think of all those adventures. Now don't do any of them. And that was Downsize. And
what was Downsize about? Like, I didn't even see it.
No, that was it. It's like they live in a world where, say, you're making 50 grand a year and you're just getting by with your household worth. And it's like, oh, yeah, but if I was 6 inches high, I can still work from home because it's a computer interface. And 50 grand suddenly is a shitload of money. You can buy, you could build a huge mansion for a 6-inch high person. So that was the premise. And I thought, it's going to be about his adventures in this being a tiny person. You might fight a cat. Might be scared by a bird, but none of that happened. It was all kind of, it just went into the lives of these tiny people and they were having entirely conventional dramas, and I had to shake the screen like every half an hour and go, you're tiny, have a fucking adventure. But they didn't.
It's a go fight a squirrel.
I'm stuck.
You didn't fight a cat.
What is the advantage to making all of the rich people in the world tiny? Because then everyone else, literally and justifiably, would literally just...
No, it sounds like it's middle class people getting to live like they're rich by being tiny.
Oh.
But that's the thing. Eventually, during the movie, they got loads of poor people to do it as well. And I thought, well, how isn't the same economic thing working for them? Why do they have tiny people's slums when you could basically buy a doll's house for a $5 and live like a king? So it was a lot of inconsistency, and it was much more about it had all this kind of climate change stuff and socioeconomic stuff. I didn't see Matt Damon get carried away by a single bird, nor ride a single mouse. And I just thought, fuck you, movie. Fuck you. So yeah, that movie.
That sounds fair.
Mine's a toss-up between X-Men The Last Stand and X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, those are both pretty crummy.
I think Wolverine takes it just because of the Deadpool in that. Because when you put the merc with a mouth in a movie and you don't let him fucking speak, then you should just be shot in the dick. So,
in all fairness, though, Deadpool 2 fixed that.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I want to go back to this. If you make a movie where everyone shrinks down to 6 inches high, and the rest of your movie is just the people who are 6 inches high, then you may as well have a movie about full-size people. You may as well do that.
I love how passionate Steve is about this. Yeah, so the trouble with this question for me is like a movie that's popular is like there's plenty of movies I've hated. Like I can always shit on, I don't know, Batman v Superman if we're just going to take the lowest punching bag, but I mean that's not really loved. That's the hard one.
I'm always surprised when I find Batman versus Superman fans because they're out there and they look like, normal people.
Look, you can love a bad movie. There's plenty of bad movies I will watch fucking over and over again. That's fine. You don't. Something doesn't have to be quality to be enjoyable. But you do kind of have to recognize what you're doing.
Yeah.
I greatly enjoy Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. I'm never gonna stand up and defend it as high cinema. Well, not one kind of high cinema.
I'm going to choose. I don't even know if this was an A-list movie, but Trouble with the Curve. I've put that up there for a suggestion for Authors and Dragons at the movies, but I don't know. I want if we ever do that one, I want everybody to watch it once and get angry. And then we do it.
Let's get a run up on the range.
Yeah, it's just so fucking shitty.
It's so bad you want us to watch it twice?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't believe that we can do Mocking It justice without having a preview first.
That and
I want to
Bob
watch it.
hates
I
us.
want to watch it again just to take notes and just comment on all the I don't want to say all the shitty parts because it's all shitty. I want to take notes about everything that's shitty about it.
It takes intent to be this bad.
But I mean, I love Clint Eastwood and a lot of his movies. Not this one.
Well, so we got some podcast homework. This is a first.
Oh, do people like those Fantastic Beasts movies? Because those suck.
Yeah.
They do.
Again, am I just like... It feels like I'm just dogpiling onto something that's already considered
I
shitty.
didn't see them.
It's just aggressively mediocre.
Yeah.
I saw the first one. I haven't here's the I guess my best I feel like the first one has earned sort of what I consider the worst grading you can give a movie, which is that they had a sequel come out and I didn't even bother because my thought on seeing the first movie was I had some friends that were super into it too. They were just like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing since sliced fucking bread," and I'm just like,
Yeah, your friends were wrong.
Did anyone really think that though?
I had some friends who were really into some of the pairings in the movie in a really weird way.
You don't have friends.
I didn't say they were like well
People.
educated on the subject. Yeah, no, the rocks in my yard. They absolutely
that's-
love Fantastic Beasts, and that's what we talk about when I'm yelling at them.
And that's when I finally stopped talking to the people who live under my bed.
Because their taste in films is shit.
Rocks in the front yard.
I've alienated every single one of my imaginary friends because I cannot stress to them enough that if you take tiny people and put them in a perfectly replicated tiny city, then you may as well just be filming big people in a big city, and it means nothing.
Is there at least a moment in that movie when someone big looks in on them like a giant glaring eyeball outside the window?
It's
That
Rick
happens.
Moranis.
That all happens in like the first 10 minutes. And then they just fucking sack it off like it's not interesting.
That sucks. What the hell is the point of being tiny if you can't have a giant eyeball in the window?
I think they filmed enough of that sort of thing to put in the trailer and get me really excited for the concept. And then just had the rest of the movie about Matt Damon being sad about his relationship with a Chinese doctor.
Okay. I've never even seen this movie.
Was she hot?
No, I think she was aggressively not hot. I think they deliberately tried to make her as an unappealing kind of love interest as possible.
Come on, Matt Damon. You're Matt Damon. You can do better. You can have somebody that's more than 6 inches tall.
Well, I think she had a good heart.
Okay.
But her heart was probably more than 6 inches tall.
It's like somebody was trying to sell a generic romantic drama and then was like, but the twist is they're all 6 inches tall.
How does that factor in? It doesn't.
The twist is they're all 6 inches tall, and also it's not a twist. It's just something we vaguely allude to.
The double twist, the rare. It's where we twist and then it doesn't matter again. That's the other twist. Oh, well, join us, next year for the first Authors and Dragons movies. Honey, I Shrunk Everyone. Whether they like it or not, we're doing this goddamn 6-inch person movie.
People were like, Honey, I Shrunk Everyone, and no one noticed. They just carried on as normal.
Honey, I Shrunk the Plot.
All right, folks, that's going to do us for this episode of Authors and Dragons. We will be here next week with an episode of Side Quest, and then in 2 weeks with another game episode. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Acrophatic, baby.